So Google Stadia is one of the biggest jokes in gaming right now. It launched back in late 2019, and since then hasn't really gained a whole lot of traction. And that's simply because Stadia is an awful platform, and Google hasn't really done anything to improve the service at all. At this point, it seems inevitable that Stadia is going to shut down sometime in the future. I think, give it until 2023. By 2023, Stadia will no longer exist. So, if you're buying games on Stadia for full price, you should probably reconsider that decision, because it's going to be hundreds of dollars worth of games that you will lose forever. Because if Stadia is gone, if the cloud servers are gone, there's no way for you to play that game ever again unless you rebuy it on a different platform. But that's kind of like the whole antithesis of what Stadia is supposed to be. It's supposed to be for people that don't have access to those powerful consoles and gaming PCs. So, the chances are that if you are a Stadia customer right now, you don't even have the option of going to a different platform. And I think Stadia customers need to understand this and realize that they're taking a huge gamble, putting all this money into games for a platform that might not even exist in 2 years' time. I don't see Stadia having a long-term future when just a couple months ago, they fired their entire first-party development studio. And that measure was clearly taken because Stadia is hemorrhaging cash right now for Google. Google is so much in the red from Stadia that they had to do that as a cost-cutting measure, because a platform that actually was growing and was actually being successful would not fire their entire first-party studio. The whole reason why someone would gravitate to your platform in the first place is for exclusive content, right? So when you don't have that, there's really no reason for Stadia to even be a thing, okay? So when Stadia first launched, it was kind of the first major streaming service to be out there. I mean, there's always been PlayStation Now and GeForce Now, but Stadia kind of, had that potential of being the big player in the streaming market. But once xCloud came out, it was all over for Stadia. I mean, there's no way that Stadia can compete with xCloud, which has a huge library of games through Game Pass, and all the first-party Xbox titles that come with it, all the Bethesda titles that come with it, while Stadia has absolutely nothing, no exclusives, nothing to actually make Stadia competitive. You cannot name a single video game platform through all of gaming history that has had zero exclusive content and has still been successful. No, exclusive content, whether you like it or not, it's a necessary thing in order to make that platform stand out and give people a reason to invest, because you have all these games that you can't play anywhere else. Stadia does not have that. I think they've had 1 or 2 exclusive games on that platform during its entire existence, and they weren't even that good. I don't even remember the names of them because they were so forgettable. And there are other issues with Stadia as well, like that they advertise 4K gameplay, but even if you have the fastest internet in existence, you could fucking have NASA internet and not be able to run Stadia at 4K. Even if you're somehow able to do it, it's going to downgrade during gameplay. It's going to get all fuzzy, and the resolution is going to keep fluctuating, kind of like when you watch a YouTube video with really bad internet and it keeps going back and forth between 720p and 480p. That's pretty much the Stadia experience in a nutshell. For a lot of people, the single-player games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they ran fine, but once you get into online multiplayer territory, Stadia is completely unplayable. Ever try playing PUBG on Stadia or Destiny 2 on Stadia? Those games run like absolute dog shit on that platform, because online gaming and streaming is not a good combination, because not only are you connecting to the Stadia servers, but you're also connecting to other people at the same time, and there is going to be noticeable lag. Not as noticeable if you're playing a single-player game, but once other people are involved, you're gonna fucking notice it. And like PUBG on Stadia makes the original Xbox One version of PUBG feel smooth as hell in comparison. I mean, it's pretty sad, but that's the state of Stadia. And the little games that the platform does have, which is not even close to being on the same level as other platforms, but the few games that you do have over there, like Red Dead Redemption 2, Destiny 2, and a lot of the Ubisoft games, those games only exist on Stadia in the first place because Google pays them to put the games on there. It's not like the games themselves are making any money. So Stadia is only going to continue to exist as long as Google is willing to keep pouring money into it. But if they see that it's not really doing anything for them, they won't hesitate to just shut it down like they did with Google Plus and all the other failures that Google has had over the years. So I give it 2 more years before Stadia is completely shut down and ceases to exist. I just don't see how Google can ever turn things around, especially with the fierce competition that we're starting to get in the streaming market. I mean, people are still playing consoles, they're still playing on their PCs, but even if someone out there is interested in streaming their games instead of playing them through native hardware, they already have better options to choose from, like Game Pass, and even GeForce Now is a better service. So I'll give it 2 more years. I think Google's going to keep trying to hang in there for as long as they can, but eventually they're just going to say, fuck it, and pull the plug on Stadia. I figure that'll happen by 2023. That's my prediction. But I want to know what you guys think about Google Stadia. How much longer do you think it's going to last? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.